power of the heart. Finding your inner wisdom.
The power of the heart.
Finding the power of the heart.
The power of the heart.
The
Power of the heart. Power of the heart.
让我们寻回新的力量。
The power of the heart.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Yuru Chao. You are tuning in to the Power of the Heart on Dai Radio. When you go on a sightseeing tour in Iran, what will you expect? David finds Tzu Chi logo in deserts of Iran. David Ding has been a Tzu Chi volunteer in the U.S. for 9 years. 1 year, he made a special journey to the city of Bam in the southeast desert of Iran. He saw with his own eye the 5 schools built there by the Tzu Chi Foundation after a devastating earthquake in December 2003. It gave him a new understanding of the real blessings of life. Iran is a country with ancient culture and civilization. It has more than 70 million people. Majority of them are Muslims. It has a long history of art, music, architecture, poetry, and philosophy. Because of its location in a sensitive region of the Middle East, this region made travelers nervous and fearful. But this did not deter David, a dentist who lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. 1 year, he made this visit to Iran. It was his first trip to that country because, he said, I want to see things with my own eyes. One day during his trip, he was dozing off in the tourist bus and heard the guy said, ahead of us is a place that is not on the itinerary, but perhaps you'd like to visit. It's a place where a charity from Taiwan built a school. Would anyone like to see it? When he heard that, David's curiosity was aroused and he said, of course I'd like to see it. Reminded by the guy, he immediately thought back to the devastating earthquake measuring 6.6 on the Richter scale that struck the southeastern city of Bam in the early hours on December 26, 2003. That earthquake killed more than 26,000 people and injured another 30,000 people. The death toll was so high because most of the buildings were made of mud bricks and did not resist the earthquake. The Tzu Chi Foundation in Taiwan mobilized volunteers in country near Iran to go to Bam and provide emergency assistance. In the most difficult circumstances, they also built 5 schools, of which 4 were for girls. This enabled the young women of Iran, dressed in their veils, to receive a modern education. David stood in front of one of these schools and heard the guy's explanation. David was very keen to see it with his own eyes. For David, it was a very long journey. He flew from the western side to the eastern side of the world, and then again he flew some more to the desert of Iran. In the middle of this yellow floating sand, he saw the familiar Tzu Chi green logo. How unpredictable it is that this is his destiny. He said all over the world there are charity groups and so many people doing good. But no charity could have done what Tzu Chi has done. I saw the school it built in Bam, with funds raised from all over the world by Tzu Chi members. I saw the sun set over the green ship. That is Tzu Chi logo. I was very moved. When he saw the school for himself, he was filled with happiness. It made him understand the true meaning of doing good deeds. At the same time, he felt a cleansing of his spirit. That is the greatest blessing to give than to receive. When he was in Bam, David walked around the Tzu Chi schools and saw for himself that the great love has no boundaries. He realized that in building these schools in Bam, the foundation has not only contributed money and hard work, but also accepted the students without condition. It did not say that they must believe in Buddhism, and there is no teaching of Buddhism in these schools. Tzu Chi simply gave these schools directly to the education authority in Iran for them to manage. Tzu Chi's aim was to allow students to concentrate on their education and continue their education without missing a beat. David believes that Tzu Chi is selfless and have such abundance of pure love by creating such a circle of goodness that at the end, these students will understand how to help other people. David took many photographs with his camera to make a moving record. Each image showed young Iranian with broad smiles. They opened David's heart. He said Tzu Chi not only feed those who are hungry, Tzu Chi also enables the young people of Iran, especially the young women there, to have opportunity to receive education. When the seed has grown into a large tree, they can look after even more people. Before David went to Iran, he assumed that good fortune was something that you can take for granted. But after this visit to Iran, he had a deep awakening. He realized that blessed life was not as it should be by rights. Education hasn't been the right of every child. In fact, children in the United States are just too fortunate, and they should cherish what they have. So he wondered, is this actually a misfortune to grow up in a rich and prosperous society? Las Vegas is one of the world's biggest gambling centers, with millions of dollars gambled away on the cards table every day. The city never sleeps, but actually is a maze of glittering lights and sparkling neon signs. What David sees makes him sad in his heart. So many people are confused here, he said. They give birth to and raise their children and work hard to earn money so they can raise their family. After that, they waited for their death. They do not realize there are many meaningful things that they can do. They should not waste their life. To live in the United States is a blessing, and no one can deprive you of this materialistic civilization. Although many charities do good works in the country, few are those who see they need spiritual reform. This visit to Iran was not simply a voyage for David. His greatest reward from this trip was a sense of gratitude for life. By seeing the work of great love done by Tzu Chi, David saw and understood what Master Cheng Yen means when she says, doing good means pure and unconditional giving and expect no reward. So love in its purest form can continue and spread between people forever. In our program today, we'll begin with a reading of Dharma Master Cheng Yen's teaching about a young man overcoming his cancer through repentance and became a vegetarian. All it takes is to listen to Dharma and to embrace his inner purity. By changing his lifestyle, he changed his destiny. This reading is provided by Dharma Master Deling. Then, after a short break, we'll discuss this teaching with Mr. Stephen Chen.
Let's leave for our children a planet clean and pure. Let's leave for our children a river crystal clear. Let's leave for our children a blue sky shining bright. Let's leave for our children a meadow lush with light. May love's great compassion comfort all the weary souls. May love's great compassion make the world a brighter place. May this great compassion make us dream a pure great love, flowing round the planet, changing hearts forevermore.
You are listening to The Power of the Heart on Dai Radio. Tapping into the power of the heart. Finding your inner wisdom. Finding the power of the heart.
The Power of the Heart, Part 4, To Turn Things Around, The Power of Repentance. Today we will be listening to the teaching on A Modern Sutra, Real-Life Stories of Repentance. In today's times, many people think of Buddhism as a religion with abstruse teachings seemingly disconnected with everyday affairs. Back in the Buddha's time, however, the teachings he gave were very down-to-earth, practical, and relevant to daily life. In giving teachings, the Buddha's aim was to help people to understand the truth of life. Being so, he made sure to teach in a way that people could easily understand and practice. As the teachings have been passed down over the millennia, however, they have become more complex and difficult to understand. Many people practice Buddhism mainly by reciting sutras. They believe that by doing this, especially by reciting repentance texts, they can create merit and eliminate their negative karma. Actually, the true way to eliminate our negative karma is by self-reflecting, repenting our wrong actions, and changing our ways. In Tzu Chi, there are many real-life stories of people who once did bad things but have been inspired to change. Through self-reflection, they realize the error of their ways and have turned their lives around. For some, the change has been so dramatic that even their friends and acquaintances say that they are like a completely different person. These people show us that it is in fact not so hard to change. Their example inspires us to realize that the Buddha's teachings are in fact very connected to our everyday sufferings and can transform our lives if we practice them. These stories are truly modern sutras. The following is a real-life story written based on information from Da'ai News, Tzu Chi Monthly, or the Tzu Chi website. Overcoming Cancer Through Repentance and a Vegetarian Diet. Michael Tsai is a Tzu Chi volunteer in the United States who immigrated to the United States when he was in his teens. His parents sent him to the United States to study. He was very independent. Despite the meager wage he earned, he was able to work to support himself while pursuing his studies. Because of the hardship he experienced early in life, he vowed to work hard and become rich. After years of hard work, he created his own company and became very successful. At the same time, he started developing a liking for delicacies. It was common for him to pay around $1,000 for a meal. He would go to high-class restaurants and order dishes such as steak and lamb and seafood such as shrimp, crab, and lobster. Sometimes he would order items not on the menu, asking the chef to prepare special dishes for him. He was fond of Korean and Thai-style barbecues. He could eat a 5-pound lobster by himself. Every few days, he would go to a Japanese restaurant to eat sashimi. On weekends, he would buy live seafood and cook it at home. He was a dab hand at cooking the gourmet Chinese oxtail soup. At the age of 29, he was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, a type of bone cancer. The doctor told him that he had only 6 months to live. At the prime of his life, with a successful business, this news was a shock to him. He then started chemotherapy. The chemotherapy drug was very toxic. Before the injection, the nurse had to carefully prepare the drug by inserting her hands through 2 protective gloves inside a glass box, making sure not to inhale the fumes or come in contact with the drug, as it would burn holes through the clothing or ulcerate her skin upon contact. Each treatment required 160 hours, almost 7 days of injection. Michael was unconscious throughout each treatment. After suffering 3 months of intensive chemotherapy, which left him extremely exhausted and weak, his cancerous tumor was found to have grown from 5 centimeters to 7 centimeters. Since the treatment had failed, Michael's doctor gave him 2 options: go to another specialist or stay and try out other treatments that may or may not be effective. Since his doctor was among the top 3 doctors treating bone cancer in the United States, Michael chose the second option. During treatment, he sometimes had a mixture of 5 chemotherapy drugs injected into his body. His weight dropped from 85 kilograms to 70 kilograms. He was so weak that he could not stay out of bed for more than 30 minutes a day. Before the illness, he did not hold any religious beliefs. It was after the doctor had told him that there was little hope for him that he started to ponder on the meaning of life and reflect on what he had done. He also started to learn Buddhism. Once, when he was reading the Tsitigarbha Pradinana Sutra, he came across a passage which describes the suffering that beings in hell go through. Some have their tongues stretched out and plowed by cattle. Some have their internal organs gouged out, sliced, and minced. Some have their bodies stabbed. Others are cooked in cauldrons of boiling liquid. When he read this, he started to reflect on his gourmet habits. To cater to his preference, didn't animals go through cruel, hell-like suffering? He thought of his favorite dish, duck tongues. To make this dish, many ducks' tongues had to be cut out and cooked, just like the hell of pulling tongues. The process of preparing the meats and cooking them fit the descriptions of hell. Michael was very remorseful. He said, "When I was ill, I prayed every day for a miracle so that my life could be saved. But those animals who were about to be slaughtered, mustn't they have felt the same way? They value their life the same way I value my own life." Reflecting on this and feeling that he shouldn't take the life of other animals, he realized that his cancer was a consequence of the negative karma he had created by causing the killing of so many animals. Therefore, he vowed to become vegetarian. Still, it was hard for him to give up his meat-eating habit right away, so he gave himself 2 years to transition into a vegetarian diet. Since he became a full-time vegetarian 11 years ago, cancer experts told Michael that all the test results show that he no longer has cancer cells in his body. He has been completely cured. He said many people attribute this miracle to vegetarian food and its health benefits. But as a Buddhist, I believe in the law of karma, and I also believe that we can get rid of our negative karma through repentance. Because of his cancer, Michael awakened to the negative karma he had created and repented sincerely. He also helped create the Tzu Chi Cancer Support Group in the United States and serves as the president. Now he is very active in contributing to various cancer support groups, promoting vegetarianism, and sharing his life story with people so that others can awaken to the negative karma of eating meat, reduce their desire for it, and switch to eating vegetarian.
You are listening to The Power of the Heart on Da'ai Radio.
Our special guest today is Mr. Steve Chen. He goes to University of Maryland, College Park. He is a Tzu Chi baby, meaning growing up in a Tzu Chi family, and he represented Tzu Chi Youth Delegation at UN Youth Assembly last summer. Being able to represent Tzu Chi to the world, he has been inspired to do more. He majors in biology and economics. He hopes to work in the healthcare industry, being a doctor or a health professional when he graduates. Welcome to the program, Steve. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. Going to so many Tzu Chi events and participating in so many kind of food distributions, nursing home visits. I've definitely had the experience to see my work and to be thankful that I have the opportunity to make the lives of so many other people better. To be able to have a chance to serve the community and to kind of return back what the community given me. I think that is the main reason why I do so much volunteer work, and why I want to stay involved in Tzu Chi, especially when I represented the Tzu Ching, the youth group at the United Nations, where this youth delegation is composed of Tzu Ching from all around the world. And to be able to be there and to see so many different faces, all kind of guided by the same principles that Master Zheng Yin has been talking about for these past years, it truly inspired me. Also something that I really enjoy about volunteering in Tzu Chi, and I hope to continue volunteering in the future.
But how do you balance your study and volunteering?
That's a great question. I am a pre-medicine student, so that the road to being a doctor is definitely takes a lot of time, a lot of work, and not a lot of sleep. And so I think it's all about prioritizing the time, and this is something you learn as you grow up. And I'm only a freshman in college, and so I know that there's a long way ahead of me, and there's always times where you're going to be doing nothing. If I can utilize that time to do good, so I know that, this period of time I'm not going to be doing anything, why not do some volunteer with Tzu Chi, go visit a nursing home, go help out at a shelter. And I think that's how I balance my time.
It is all about time management. That is possible if you know how to manage your time. What inspires you the most about Tzu Chi's youth volunteer program?
Knowing that there are so many people like me and who share the same values as me that I can go to, whether it's just to talk about, just to spend some time with, or to volunteer at events with. I think that kind of family bond that we create on the campus is what motivates me to come to the Tzu Ching program, return back to the community, whether we go on nursing home visits or we help at DC Central Kitchen and prepare food for the homeless. I think the general family atmosphere that has been created is what causes me to go back to Tzu Ching all the time and actively participate in their meetings and their events.
And with your pre-med focus, what's your experience inspiring people who are very sick and hopeless to give them peace and joy?
I can say I do my best to give back to the community. So whether it's an elderly lady at a nursing home who is suffering from cancer, I try to make her happy, spend some time with her, tell her some jokes and just make her laugh, enjoy her time there. Or whether it's someone like the homeless down in DC, when we do our breakfast serving, I try to just have a short conversation with them, make them feel like there are definitely people who care about them and that who want to help them. When you are giving, you are also receiving, in the sense that reciprocal giving is kind of what motivates me to continue to go on. And that's what I try to do. Help out those who are sick and those who are less fortunate than us. I try to make them feel that we're all in this together. We're all humans. We're all one big family, and that we'll get through this together.
You'll see that when people are in need of help, if we can do whatever we can do to help them, we are very grateful for such opportunity. And very often we call these aid recipients as teachers because they taught us valuable lessons in life. Can you share with us a little bit about your vegetarian choice in life?
Of course. So I chose to be a vegetarian. Been involved in Tzu Chi for so long. I've learned a lot regarding in terms of how animals are treated and the reasons why you should pursue a vegetarian diet. And those kind of hit me. I had the opportunity to read some parts of the Water Repentance text, and in it, something that struck me was that it talked about being that one should respect all sentient beings. And that really struck me, because here we are and we're treating these animals like they don't have a mind. And so that's why I chose to change my philosophy and chose to give up eating meat in order for these animals to live better lives. Seen many documentaries and movies about kind of the horrible conditions that they're grown up in and how they're treated and how they're like stuffed with fat just for human greed and kind of just the human need for meat. And so I did not want to take a part of that. A second major reason why I did it was also because of sustainability, and we're in this time period where global climate change is a big problem, where we see increasing intensities of hurricanes, of earthquakes, more and more people suffering. And a lot of that is because of climate change, and surprisingly, one of the major factors of climate change is agriculture, and the fact that the amount of rice and water it takes to feed a pig or feed a cow is huge, and it could be better used to kind of make more vegetables for those that are starving in Africa. At first, because it's hard to give up something that you've had all your life. Looking back on it, I'm glad I did that, and I feel that I have a lot of support from family, my friends, to continue doing this, because I think that this is truly the right thing to do, and that the way that we're treating them now is horrible, and that we need to change our ways in order to not only better their lives but better our own lives, because we always hear about like kind of the positive healthy effects of pursuing or adopting a vegetarian diet. And so all these reasons combined have led me to choose to go veggie and go green.
Our time is up today. We'll be listening to this book over the next several episodes. Please join us next time to continue our discussion on the power of the heart. If you want to read this book we're talking about, you can find a copy of this book in any Jingsi bookstore and cafe. For more teaching from Dharma Master Cheng Yen, please tune in next time to our program. Thank you, goodbye, and have a great day.